All right, what is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys being here. We are reacting to the ass-kicking at Crypto.com Arena. Nuggets all over the Lakers, 127-102, the final score. Not what I was expecting tonight. I'm sure not what a lot of Laker fans were expecting tonight. JJ Redick is talking, so before I go any further, let's play a little bit of JJ. We'll give our thoughts on this Lakers loss.
I'm sure you have to look at the film to kind of decipher that, but how much of that's competing versus, I guess, the schematic part.
Well, we missed a lot of shots and they didn't. I think for us to hold them to 8 offensive rebounds a little bit, I think at least three of those were sort of late there in the fourth when we still had our starters in, but that was a big point of emphasis. Jokic played 36 minutes and he got 2 offensive rebounds. He was averaging close to 5. So, that part of it, we would have liked to get more offensive rebounds on an off shooting night like we had, but potentially just not a lot of opportunities there to rebound because they shot 61%.
They were over.
Sounds like an excuse,
2 points scored per turnover almost the entire game. Just how punitive did it feel watching it every time you guys would make a mistake?
Yeah. Those put us at some tough spots, and it wasn't just there in the third. Our half-court defense, and outside of a couple just like minor things, our half-court defense and our attention to detail on game plan stuff was really good in the first half. It was the transition and some of the turnovers that hurt us there. Live ball turnovers they're going to kill you no matter what. We've been, I think, coming into the night, we were 3rd in turnover percentage in the NBA. So we've done a good job of taking care of the basketball.
To ensure that
we're listening to
kind
JJ
of things
right
that
now
you guys have been working
after
on,
the Lakers
the
lost
messaging,
127-102. Let's get one more question in, and then we'll start reacting.
How do you
to
say
the game.
To make sure that you don't continue some of the mistakes that you guys have been making in terms of the transition defense, in terms of the free throws, in terms of the turnovers late in games, and the third quarter streak? What's your message to the team, and how do you ensure that kind of gets corrected, as you mentioned before?
Yeah, some coaching is playing whack-a-mole. You have to address weaknesses. We certainly did some of that stuff yesterday in film and on the court, and felt.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. I got to be honest with you. There's nothing really happening in that interview for me to waste the post-game show on. Not really much there. I'm not 100% sure JJ is going to give Laker fans some answers that they're looking for. I'll help out here. Lakers got their asses kicked tonight. They lost again to a Denver Nuggets team that has completely dominated them. I've heard a lot of people, maybe this will help a little bit of the conversation, because there's been so much of the conversation over the last 2 years of, hey, Al, they're losing to the Nuggets, but hey, at least they're not losing by that much. Does 127-102, does that help a little bit? Does that tell the story of how the Nuggets have dominated the Lakers over the years, and they continue to dominate the Lakers? JJ Redick didn't sound too concerned about it. I don't know. I think I have a completely different feeling about that. The losing in the second half, remember Lakers, right before the first half ended, they were up 10. They had a 10-point lead. Denver cut it down to 6 before the half came to a close. Lakers were outscored by 34 points in the second half. That doesn't sound like something that a fan or anybody inside of that locker room, or from the coaching perspective, that doesn't sound like that shouldn't be a concern. That definitely be concerning to me. One of the things that I was saying coming into this game is I really wanted Jokic to play. Maybe I'm regretting that, but one of the reasons why I wanted Jokic to play is because I wanted Jokic and the Denver Nuggets to play a Lakers team. And by the way, they don't even have Aaron Gordon, who's a big piece of their team as well. I wanted to see how the Lakers would match up against this Denver Nuggets team. Let's see them all. Let's see how good this Lakers team is. They got off to a good start, 10-5. We can kind of talk about the loss against the Orlando Magic, but I would sit here and tell you they had that game. They just missed some free throws, and they were very careless towards the end of that game. It happens in the NBA. I'm not giving them an excuse for it, but all right, it happened. How are you going to respond to Denver? How are you going to respond to a real team in the Western Conference? How are you going to respond to a team that has championship pedigree? How are you going to respond to a team that has the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic? And I don't even think it's close. Literally, I don't even think it's close. That's how far Jokic is from the rest of the pack. How are you going to respond? I'll tell you how you're going to respond. You're going to get outscored in the third quarter, 37-15. You're going to get outscored in the fourth quarter, 33-24. Lakers get completely dominated in both the third quarter and the fourth quarter and end up losing the game, like I mentioned, 127-102. I thought there was a lack of fight in that second half. I think there was a lack of concentration. I think if we're calling this a boxing match, I thought the Denver Nuggets punched the Lakers right in the chin in that third quarter, and the Lakers did absolutely nothing about it. I probably see it a little bit different. I know JJ was kind of calm, cool, and collected. Maybe it's going to be different in that locker room. Maybe it's different behind closed doors. The Lakers got their asses kicked. They got handed to them tonight on a Saturday night at 7:30 tip-off in front of LA at Crypto.com Arena and everybody else watching on TV. That was one of those games that I think brings the Lakers back down to perspective. Let me remind you of something, too. The Denver Nuggets had a game last night against the Dallas Mavericks, and that game went all the way down to the end. I want to say Denver was down 20-plus, maybe 24 points at one point. They're down big. Denver comes all the way back. They have to play all the way till the end there. It's not like it was a blowout or something like that. They could rest some of their guys. They fly to Los Angeles. I heard the coach of Denver talking about how in the pregame, he was talking about how they didn't get in until super late. That's going to be one of the challenges when you play back-to-back like the Denver Nuggets were playing. Plus, they had to travel from Denver, and they look like the fresher team. They look like the team that was more in rhythm. They looked like the team that had a proper connection amongst these players, and the Lakers didn't. So whatever our expectations were for this game tonight, whatever our expectations were in watching this Lakers Nuggets game, whatever that challenge that we all wanted to see in this game, we didn't get that tonight from the Lakers. We really didn't. It was a poorly played game from a Lakers team that I think started out the season with a lot of excitement, and it should be excitement. There should be people that are interested in this Lakers team when you start off the way that they did. But that second half, I haven't seen that lopsided of a second half in a really, really long time. Lakers had no answer. Pick whichever player that you want. Michael Porter Jr., I don't know how much of his damage came in the third quarter, but every possession that I saw, I thought it was Michael Porter Jr. coming off a screen, doing something to create for himself, or Jamal Murray or Jokic or one of these other players. But there was no game at all in that second half. And I want to say at one point, Denver had taken a 28-point lead. What was their biggest lead? 29. Lakers were up 10 right before the first half ended. And then next thing you know, they're down almost 30. How the hell does that happen in the same game? How does that happen within a half? It doesn't make any sense at all. I'm watching some of the highlights in the background right now, so I'm looking at it as we go here. Obviously, I'm here at Crypto.com Arena, so here for the actual game. And let's just say not exactly the game I thought we were going to have here. So really, really ugly. Let me get to some of your comments. I got some thoughts on the starting lineup. I got some thoughts on kind of what happens from the Lakers from here. Did we maybe just get a little too excited about a team and what we thought through those first 15 games is not realistic? I don't know. I actually genuinely don't have an answer for anybody here. AR, thank you very much for the super. I really appreciate that. Slee, I don't have words. Now we know that we are not a good team, not even close. What now? Listen, it could be, let me see some of the team stats here, because one of the bigger issues that I think the Lakers are going to have, and I think is an issue that we'll talk about for pretty much the entire season, is how this team will do defensively. And not really the best stretch here for the Lakers as far as their defensive DNA. But this is what Denver shot from the field. They shot 61% from the field. I honestly I don't remember watching. I've been doing post-game show for a while now. YouTube, 710 ESPN, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember a time that I saw a team shoot 61% from the field. Okay, is that just all give credit to Denver, or is there because I would look at it if I'm the opposing team and say, how the hell are we letting another team shoot 61% from the field? You know, we hear this a lot where people say, all right, yeah, you know, give them credit. It was there's nothing you could do. You got to tip your cap. You know, you kind of see that all the time. Yeah, but 61% from the field, that sounds like you got to have something to do with that. Couple other team stats that I'll point out as we just go up and down here. They shot 16 of 32 from the three-point line, 50%. So 61% from the field, 50% from the three-point line. And then you kind of go up and down the list. Rebounding, 48 to 32 Denver. Want to see what points in the paint was. They got 64 to 40 points in the paint. See if they're 37 to 27 in assists. I mean, every stat that you could think of, give them obviously the advantage, and it's complete domination. Individual players here real quick. Let's take a look at some of the players here. Probably the most disappointing, not probably, tonight was the most disappointing game we've seen from Anthony Davis so far this year. Really, really bad night for AD. And we have not said that much this year. We really haven't. But I think today is the right time to say it. Let me read you guys off Anthony Davis's stats. He's going up against Nikola Jokic. Clearly the best player in the NBA. It's not even close. Oh, my God. I'm looking at Jokic's numbers right here. Let me share this screen. For those of you that don't want to see this, I would cover your eyes. I'd put a blanket over your eyes. I'd basically say, Al, I'd turn off your computer before I show you guys what I'm about to show you. This is going to get ugly here. This is going to get ugly. Sometimes I encourage you guys to bring the wife and the kids. This time, tell your partner and the children to go to bed. They're not going to want to see this. All right, you guys see this here? Let me show you guys something. Look at Anthony Davis's stats. 14 points, 10 rebounds, okay, 3 steals, 3 blocks, minus 26. Minus 26. 6 of 19 from the field. Okay, you see Anthony Davis. All right, don't look here. Well, everybody close their eyes real quick. Look at Jokic. 34, 13, 8. Jokic was plus 39 in a basketball game. I've never seen a plus 39. You can take this. You take it. Yeah. I've never seen plus 39. Literally in my entire life, I don't know if I've ever seen a plus 39. So Anthony Davis, the matchup that we're all looking for, the matchup that we want to see, goes minus 26 in the plus minus, and Nikola Jokic is plus 39. What the F? All right, let's get into some of these other players here real quick because there's obviously more to it than just that. Let me point out a couple other things here as far as players. Since I have you guys here, let's look at them. So AD, I mentioned the 14 and 10, but minus 26. Bron had 18, 7, and 6 was his total stat line, minus 25. All right. Austin Reaves, who actually had a much better game than he's been playing over the last week or so, gets you 19 points, 6 assists, 7 to 13. It really doesn't matter. To be honest with you, I don't even know if I want to get into – I don't know if I want to go through each one of these guys' stat lines right now. Some of these players I will point out, but again, just that plus minus, somebody's pointing out here, that's a plus minus 65-point difference between Joker and AD. That's just crazy. That is just absolutely crazy that's what you got here. I'll walk through real quick some of the other players. Listen, this is going to be the question coming out of tonight's game. So basically, this is what happened. You had Rui Hachimura was coming back, and he was going to get right back into the starting lineup. The question that I think is going to be that's going to hang in there. Actually, let me do this. If I could just catch AD real quick and see what he's got to say. Let's take a listen real quick.
It's hard to, set your defense, when we turn the ball over. We had 17 or 15 on them. So do a better job taking care of the ball. But especially in the third quarter, it was just bad overall.
What do you make of your personal night? JJ thought the process of your offense for you with shots that you're comfortable with had some that usually make just rim out. But what do you make of it?
Yeah, just missed shots. I mean, I think all great looks. You know, miss or make league. I'll make more than I miss for sure. You know, you always wish you could make every shot. Confident in every shot I took. Shots that I normally make. All of us, to be honest. Shots that we all normally make. We just missed. But I liked every shot that I took tonight. Just didn't go in.
Yeah. JJ mentioned, I think he used the phrase spirit to compete was just not there, he thought, in the third quarter. Did you feel that on the court? Did you feel that kind of evaporate from you guys as they sort of just kind of took off?
It was just a frustration part. I mean, we were giving up so many backdoors to start. The third, open threes, our defense, so Michael Porter coming off. We were getting screened. He was, making shots. When you play so well in the first half and then you come out like we did in that third quarter, giving up backdoors and threes wide open, it's definitely deflating. It's not our defense. And then to combat that, you go down and you can't make a shot. So, when it rains, it pours. We just got to be better on both ends of the floor.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. I got to be honest, both interviews, so listening to JJ, listen to Anthony Davis right there, I disagree actually with a lot of stuff that they said. I disagree with the whole it's a make or miss league. Yes, it is. All right, let me welcome in here. What's up, Cope? What's going on, brother? All right, so Cope here. Let's we'll stop here for a quick second. And so Kobe Price, who covers the Lakers, as you guys know, for SoCal Sports Group, nice enough to come join us here. What the hell happened tonight? What happened? Yeah, because listen, they're all trying to figure out what happened. You were just in the locker room right there. I felt, listen, we played a little bit of the interviews. Am I going a little too far? I felt like a lot of excuses. I heard JJ talk. I heard AD talk, but make or miss league. We just didn't have it tonight. They lost by 25, so this wasn't like it came down to a couple of points.
No, you're right. It wasn't just a couple of points. I mean, I think JJ said it pretty clearly. I'm going to look up the quote right now to make sure I say it. Clearly, the spirit to compete wasn't there. It just gets that simple sometimes. I mean, the first half was really good. I mean, maybe they could have been up by a little bit more. LeBron missed that layup. I think around 32 seconds left in the second quarter. Then he missed a pretty decent look at a three that rimmed in and out. Maybe you feel like they could have had a double-digit lead going into the second half, but as soon as that third quarter started, it was all Nuggets. And we asked him about it, how does the history with this team, now at this point, I think they've lost 13 of 14 of their last matchups, including the 2023 Western Conference Finals and last year's first-round playoff series. How does that play a factor? They all say no, 2 years ago is 2 years ago, last year's last year. But for me, just watching, it feels like there's the energy. As soon as the Nuggets found that rhythm, found that spark, the energy for the Lakers went from whatever you want to gauge it at beforehand to just drop to zero. Like the spirit, the energy, all of it. So for me, I don't even know if it was so much a schematic issue. I think JJ said have to watch the film, obviously, to see, pinpoint certain things. To me, this was just about will, effort, heart. Like that, to me, that's what, just off the first watching it live, that's what it felt like. I guess just a couple of rows behind where I sit for games. So that's what it felt like for me.
So I think the disappointing part, and for those that are hanging out, we appreciate the disappointing part is I wish it was schematic, right? Like, yeah. I wish it was more, no. They just didn't play well because Michael Malone had the perfect game plan. But when you see words like spirit come into play, yeah. Or I heard AD talking about how by the time, they're giving up they were discouraged because they couldn't hit a shot and they weren't playing any defense. That doesn't sound like, and okay, I don't want to be too dramatic here, but championship DNA is typically you fight through stuff like that. You know what? It's not going your way. We're going to muddy the water. Like, you'll find other ways, and a loss is a loss. But again, I go back to this. How do you go up 10 to down 29 in a span of 25 minutes of basketball, of actual time? Is this a game you think that lingers? You think this is a game that we're looking at? You got the Orlando loss, and then you got this last loss, or can you think this is a team that can just, hey, let's get rid of this and move on?
I think they have to be mindful of it. I mean, it's also going to be, I think, a while before they play the Nuggets again. I think they play once in February, like I think maybe right after the All-Star break, maybe not the game immediately after All-Star break, but I think the second game after the All-Star break, they played Denver again, and then twice in March in the span of like 6 or 7 days. They have to keep this game in mind from the standpoint of you can't let that happen again. It can be, like you said, it can be for schematic reason. It can be for, maybe your player on the other team got hot or your guys just, lose. I mean, I guess to an extent tonight, their shots just weren't falling to an extent. But for Spirit energy to dip in the way it did, and again, it's one game. Yeah. We've seen this team on this floor. I mean, I'm thinking of the Suns win that they had, I think, the second game of the season, take a big deficit and flip it on its head, and they will come out the winner. So it's not like they're not capable of, coming back, or pulling off similar to what Denver just did. But it is definitely discouraging just the way it happened. Like, Eddie said, guys, discouragement when things aren't going their way. That doesn't feel like a championship caliber moments. I will say this, like, this happened last game too. This happened last game against the Magic, and this has been a continuous theme with this team. Letting the offense dictate the defensive effort. Once the shots stop falling, that's when the Nuggets, their back cuts were a little bit more effective. Transition play was a little bit more effective. It felt like, I think what they had 15 turnover. Oh, that's the first half. 15 turnovers for 31, for something ridiculous, like 31 points off those turnovers in Denver's favor. That's unacceptable. Like, you're basically getting over 2 points. Like, basically every turnover is a layup, essentially, or more.
Okay, final one, and I know you got your own work that you got to go handle there, but I like old times. I appreciate this. Okay, so last question, and listen, it's not much of a storyline now. Dalton Knecht comes out of the starting lineup because Rui is back. Yeah. How do you think they're going to navigate that one? Do you think Rui is there to stay? Was it too small? Dalton was the talk. Dalton was making it happen. Now he's coming off the bench. Big deal, no deal at all? What do you think?
I don't think it's the biggest deal. I mean, especially since it seems like JJ and the staff are committed to playing him longer stretches, at least compared to before. He really lit it up in terms of shooting. So I think as long as he's getting his 22, 25, 28 minutes a night, which realistically that's where it's probably going to be, as opposed to maybe I think the 30 plus he was playing as a starter. You probably want him more in like that 25 to 28 range. I think it's fine. I think it's going to be, he'll still find his pockets. He'll still find his shots, just like he did with the starter. So it's not the biggest deal. But we also have seen that, JJ Redick is open-minded. He's willing to adjust. He put Cam Reddish in for D'Angelo Russell, I think 9 games into the season, into the starting lineup. So while, yes, it seems like he said that Rui's a starter, they've liked how Rui's played with the starting lineup, it seems like, JJ's open to adjustments if, I guess, the circumstances necessitate adjusting. So I don't think it's the biggest story to monitor or to watch for, but it's something. Yeah. It's not. I would not say it's nothing, but it's something. It's something to at least keep in mind. As they have Phoenix on Tuesday, San Antonio Wednesday, OKC Friday. Like, the games are tough matchups. See how they do. They have a 4-game road trip after that. Really, like, in a tight window. I think is what Utah, Minnesota, Miami, Atlanta. So get a couple of quote unquote easier games in there. So big stretch, a lot of road games. You see how they respond after a really tough loss. What I just said is basically 7 road games in the next 8 games. Yeah. It's going to be a big stretch for them. Very big stretch. So how they do with this starting lineup, that'll be key. And that'll be key to, I guess, answering your question just in terms of what happens with Dalton.
Kobe Price, SoCal News Group. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while. It's been a while, but we're back.
You told me to come out here.
And you came through. And you came through.
The minute I was free.
Thank you, Kobe. I appreciate it, brother. Good man right there. Good man, Kobe Price. All right, let me throw my headphones back on. Yeah, kind of the 2 seconds. The cool thing with that is Kobe's in there. So he's just literally in there in the locker room, and then just coming in, he could give some a little bit of insight there. So I was just about to talk about it, and I'm going to go on it for a quick second here. I'm not telling you that they got to change the starting lineup. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's actually kind of interesting. So earlier today, we get a chance to go in the locker room and X amount of minutes before the game. So I got a chance to talk to Rui for a little bit. I was asking Rui, how you feeling? What do you think of the team so far? We're talking a little bit about Jokic, and there's no answer for him, any of that stuff. I knew having Rui back in the starting lineup was going to potentially raise some questions. It was going to raise some questions because if they lost the game, people would say, if they won the game, nobody would really say anything. But if they lost the game, people would say, and Rui didn't have a bad night, 10 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from the three-point line. I'd like to see him get more rebounds, do some other things other than just what he did. But if they didn't win, well, part of the question would be, look how well Dalton Connect's been playing. Why wouldn't you have Dalton Connect in there? It's not a big deal. World's not going to end. I do think JJ Redick is I think we've already seen enough from him so far to where he clearly has no problem adjusting if he feels like I got to make a change. He doesn't have this stubbornness, it seems like. He's trying to win. That's all that matters. And whatever the team is doing whatever the players are doing to help win is all that he's going to pay attention to. That's all that he cares about. But Connect in a night where he didn't start, still played 28 minutes, 3 of 7 from the field, just 1 of 4 from the three-point line, had 9 points. But I wonder how much of a topic that could potentially become just strictly because Dalton Connect was just killing it over the last week and a half or so. So, obviously keep that one in mind. All right, I have not done a good enough job of looking at people's comments here. So let me do that here real quick. Let's do that. You got a man up AD. It seemed like you're scared of Joker. Joker, I'm going to say this again. He is so by far the best player in the world. There really is no conversation. There is no, I don't know who the hell you guys think is the best player in the world, but you go ahead and have that person, and I'll just go ahead and I'll take Jokic all day long. That man is just incredible. Miss or make is something he says a lot. I don't like that. I'm not a fan. A miss or make league, you allowed a squad to shoot over 60% from the field and over 50% from the three-point line. How about your squad does something about it, right? That to me says, like, I already feel like the Lakers, at least in the 2 interviews that I heard, I felt like there were excuses being made. So wasn't too crazy about that. Let's hear if Austin Reaves is sharing the same sentiment or if he's got a different feeling.
For us, Austin, anytime you guys play these guys, the history is brought up. A couple of playoff series now, they've won 13 to 14. But when they go on that run in the third quarter, does any of that stuff kind of pop up mentally at all, or is that completely separate?
No, I mean, last year, the year before, it's so long ago.
Disagree completely.
Did yesterday, so
disagree completely.
Yeah, I mean,
it's in their head.
Maybe.
Thank you.
It's impossible that it's not in their head. Impossible. You can see the complete dominance of the Denver Nuggets, and it works both ways. This is not just a team like the Lakers that are saying to themselves, "Oh my gosh, here we go again." It's the Nuggets. They're finding a way to take a lead on. It's not just the Lakers feeling a certain way, but it's also the other side of it. The other side of it is Denver feeling like we got these guys' number. It's Denver saying to themselves, "Yep, no problem. We'll do it again." It's Denver saying to themselves, "We're down 10. It doesn't matter. Have you watched us against the Lakers over the years?" I think it's not just the Lakers side of it where their confidence is low, but it's also the Nuggets side that's every time they step on the floor against the Lakers, they say to themselves, the question's not, are we going to win this game? The question is, how much are we going to win by? That's the mentality they have when they play the Lakers. At least that's the way I see it. I look at some of these comments here. I'll be honest with you. I don't really disagree. I don't know if scared is the right word, but they just right now mentally have no shot, chance, game plan, however you want to describe it, against that team specifically. I'm so sick of the script. Go up double digits and lose by double digits. JJ needs to slap AD for this one. I don't think he needs to do that. I think maybe throw some cold water on him or something along those lines. Let's get to a couple more comments here. They own the Lakers right now. They truly own the Lakers right now. I feel like there's a lot of this going on in the comments right now that the Lakers record of getting off to a 10-4 start. I think people now are all of a sudden not believing in that. AD MVP Jokic is Jesus, man. What a freaking joke. All right, let's not start this already. Let's take let's give it a couple of years, huh? Same old story. Lakers go up and they lose. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of that. Well, yeah, can't really tell you guys. See if they get LeBron on here. If they do, we'll go to it. They might have even already played Bron. But I listen. Here's the thing that sticks out to me, and I hate the quotes that we were reading there, and that Kobe mentioned as well. Kobe Price mentioned as well from the SoCal News Group. The thing that I just kind of remember the most from the game, it felt like it there in the third quarter, and it felt like it there in the second half. Lakers get punched, and they don't know what to do. Yeah, that's the quote from JJ Redick. Just not the right competitive spirit. All right, well, what do you want me to do with that? So that means they weren't competing? That means when they had a 10-point lead and then all of a sudden third quarter starts and they're down 5 and then they're down 8 and then they're down 12 and so they just stop competing because they can't hit a shot. That part to me is more discouraging. It's the fact that you've kind of put yourself in a position when things are going well, all good. And then all of a sudden when things are not going well, now you're starting to kind of give up as far as your competitiveness or shots aren't falling. And now that's affecting you on the defensive side. That's not championship DNA. That's not championship pedigree. It's not. And this is just a regular season game in, late November. The matchups are going to get tougher. I was looking at this during the game and I was just trying to kind of see, I'm like, where is Denver in the Western Conference? Denver, which, they got off to a slow start, give them some time. I'm sure they're going to figure it out. And they're starting to figure it out. But you start looking at the standings right now, and the teams in front of the Lakers, the Rockets, the Thunder, the Golden State Warriors, I don't think they've played any of those teams just yet. Denver is now 9-6, Lakers 10-6. But the competition in the Western Conference is only going to get tougher. And something that Kobe was mentioning as well a little bit earlier, if you look at the Lakers' schedule, I've mentioned this a couple times now that I really want to see the Lakers face tough competition so we could see what exactly this team is. Oh, the competition's coming. At Phoenix, at San Antonio, host what I would say is the best team in the Western Conference in the Oklahoma City Thunder, at Utah, at Minnesota, at Miami, at Atlanta. You got some real playoff teams on your schedule here. And you're going to be out on the road for a little bit as well. They got two games at Sacramento. Golden State's coming up in the that's a little bit further down the road, within the next month or so. But I think the point that I'm trying to make is if we want to see real competition, Denver was a good example of it. Denver was a good test for the Lakers. They got their asses kicked in that test. So that clearly didn't go the way it was supposed to go. Lakers didn't adjust in the second half. Tough schedule coming up. Why is JJ playing Gabe Vincent? Let's take a quick look at Gabe. Somebody wanted to know Dalton Connect's numbers as well, so I'll get those to you guys as well. Let's see Gabe Vincent. What did he do tonight? He actually hit some shots, but I thought the game was already decided. 7 points, 3 of 5 from the field. I was actually kind of laughing to myself because the shots he did hit was when basically the game was already decided. Connect, I mentioned, had 9 points, had 5 rebounds. Guys, what are the Lakers going to do with D'Angelo Russell? D'Lo, 2 of 9 from the field, 1 of 6 from the three-point line. Looks lost. Doesn't look confident. He's now down to 18 minutes. So you had the 35-minute games, was in the starting lineup. Then he takes him out of the starting lineup, still getting maybe 25, 27 minutes. D'Angelo Russell's down to 18 minutes. Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, basically all those guys played around the same minutes. Gabe played 14, Max played 17, and D'Angelo Russell played 18 minutes. What are they going to do with this guy? I feel like he's going further and further down the pecking order. you're depending less and less on him. Yet the guy still takes a lot of shots. 9 shots, 6 of them from the 3-point line. His confidence has to be getting shattered by this point. Bring back Connect to a starter. D'Lo looks like he's checked out, to be honest. Yeah, I can't really argue with that one. Just awful stats. D'Lo 38% from the field, 28% from the 3-point line. I don't know what they can do with him. And frankly, I don't know what they can do with him, to be completely honest with you. Like I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. You're basically dishing out picks. You're dishing out. Teams are not going to want D'Angelo Russell because they actually want him. They're just going to want that expiring contract, and they're going to say, "Cool, we'll go ahead and take that. Why don't you give us a couple of picks as well?" So that's really the only value that he has up to this point. And if you guys think that's going to turn around, awesome. I don't know if it's going to turn around. You know, I feel like this just might be the D'Angelo Russell now. This might be D'Lo now, and whatever you had out of him before, I think JJ Redick, and I said this a little bit earlier, I think JJ is going to play the guys that he thinks are going to help him win. And right now, do you feel like D'Lo's giving you a better chance of winning? I mean, nothing certainly on a consistent basis. No team or league wants D'Lo. Trade D'Lo for some nachos. Jesus. Nuggets own us. Yeah, that part. Yeah, that part. Yeah. Lakers get cold in second half, turnovers, and start busy losing. D'Lo's career is officially over. Not looking good for him. Remember, he's in the final year of his contract, too. So what kind of contract is going to get after this? What did you eat at crypto? Thank you, BC. That's a great question. You know, I got to be honest with you guys. Sometimes I feel like you guys just don't ask, hey, Al, how was your day? Al, how was crypto? Al, how was your parking? Everything work out with parking? Al, make sure you zip up your jacket. It's going to be cold outside. We don't want you to get a cold or anything. What did I eat? They had I had some rice and some chicken and some beef in there. I don't know, whatever's in the media room. Okay. Maybe I went in after and got some coffee and then one of the Uncrustables. Maybe I did that. Maybe I did a little coffee Uncrustables. How am I going to have an Uncrustable and not have a cup of coffee? You know what's funny about this? The Russell Westbrook piece of it. Russ looked like he was cooking tonight. He looked good. He looked comfortable. He was talking shit. I don't blame him. Russ was pointed at when the Lakers had Russell Westbrook. I'm going to spend some time talking about Russ on Monday when I do my show so that we can get further into it and everything else. But Russ, when he was a Laker, if anything that happened, if crypto ran out of water, they'd blame it on Russ. If the ice cream machine wasn't working, they'd blame it on Russ. If there was a car accident on the 110 freeway, they'd blame it on Russ. Russ was blamed for everything when he was a Laker. I'm not telling you he helped himself. I'm not telling you that Russell Westbrook was a phenomenal player for the Lakers because he wasn't. But Russ tonight, you know he felt good about his line tonight. Russell Westbrook's walking out of crypto, 14 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds, plus 17 in the plus minus, 6 of 10 from the field. Russell Westbrook felt really, really good about his game tonight, and he let everybody know it. And frankly, I don't blame him. Like I said, that dude, every single game, no matter what the result was, the finger was pointed directly at Russell Westbrook. Russ could have gone a game without playing, and they'd be like, well, it was Russ's fault. Russ could have, I don't even know if I have any more examples. Anything that happened, it was Russell Westbrook's fault. So Russ felt good tonight, and I don't blame him for doing it. You know who the killer was against the Lakers tonight? Michael Porter Jr., 24, 10 of 15 from the field, 4 of 7 from the three-point line. I don't know what he had in the third quarter, dominated the Lakers, 24 and 11. Jokic got his. Jamal Murray got his. Jamal even 14, 5 and 5 in 30 minutes. Nothing crazy at all. Christian Brown, 16. Russ, I mentioned what he had off the bench. What Lakers do off the bench? Max gave you 12, but they're really during a point of the game that nothing was really going on. All right, let me see what else we got here. I'd like to know if social media was around when Kobe was 6 of 24, 628. What people would say. D'Lo has 11 assists last 2 games. Okay, first off, I appreciate the super. Thank you very much for doing so. Thank you. You don't have to do it, but every time it's done, it's very, very well appreciated. So thank you very much, my friend. Second of all, can we please do me a favor? Let's not put Kobe and D'Angelo Russell in the same sentence. If we're writing a book, let's not have D'Angelo Russell and Kobe Bryant in the same book. If it's possible, when we're talking anything that's basketball related, let's go ahead and separate those two as far as possible. Would Kobe had bad nights? Of course he would. Kobe's one of the greatest players to ever play the game, played 20 years with the Los Angeles Lakers, won them 5 NBA championships, was a big piece of those 5 NBA championships. Of course, Shaq era, Phil Jackson, Pau Gasol, all that stuff. D'Lo's D'Lo. D'Angelo Russell, there are times in the game where I watch D'Lo play and I'm like, does he care? I don't know if he cares. His body language, his demeanor, and he's also jacking up threes like he's Ray Allen. He's not. He's not hitting threes. He's shooting 28% from the 3-point line. So thank you for the super. I appreciate that very much. But I don't think that's the comp that we want to give when we're talking about D'Angelo Russell. And frankly, I mean, with the D'Lo thing, it's really, really tough to have defense to him. I mentioned last game he had the 6 assists. I was like, hey, he had 6 assists, but he's still shooting. Every time I look at his stat line, he's 3 of 9, 2 of 11. There's never an efficient night from him. There really isn't. Scottie Pippen Jr. You have 30? You have 30 tonight? Jesus. He played well against the Lakers when the Lakers played them last time. Who was that? Memphis, I think. Yeah, he's a nice player. Somebody here is saying bad fit in LA. Bro getting max money on us. Can't help but blame the world on him. It's deserved to. He built a brick road up to Figueroa while in LA. First off, Russ didn't trade himself to the Lakers, nor did Russ the money that he was getting. Okay, that's the max contract. That's what he got when he was with the Thunder. And again, I'm literally not even defending Russell Westbrook. I'm just saying that it wasn't all on Russ. There's a lot more that goes into it. D'Lo taking connect shots. D'Lo just there for the check. Bron didn't speak to the media. Okay, thank you for the heads up on that. I appreciate it. Did not see it, so that's good to know. All right, what are we at here? Already at 42 minutes. I think I got to get out of here. Good thing is something that I learned here doing this stuff at Crypto is there's a lot of like TV shots they do late at night. The first time I did this from Crypto, I'm like, are they waiting for me to get out of here so they can shut the place down? No, they keep the place open for a while. All right, let's just see if we have a couple more comments here. We'll go for a couple more minutes, and then we're going to call it a night. Next game for the Lakers. What night is it? What night do the Lakers play? Tuesday. So no game Sunday, no game Monday. They'll come back on Tuesday, taking on the Phoenix Suns at Phoenix. So something to keep in mind there. That's a 7 p.m. start. So FYI on that front. If I saw this correct, did they say KD's coming back that game? Am I right on this? Bradley Beal, full participant practice on court, played 3-on-3 Sunday. Bradley Beal, there's hope for the Suns that he's ready to go for Tuesday's game against the Lakers. Durant, full participant Friday's practice. Suns hope to have him back on Tuesday against Lakers. Of course, everybody's ready for the Lakers. Everybody's ready to go for the Lakers. Beal and Kevin Durant probably going to go on Tuesday. Laker fans probably going to get annoyed when I say this, but to be honest with you, I don't mind when the stars play. I know you want trying to get W's, but I want to see where the Lakers are. What if Jokic didn't play tonight and Lakers won? Okay, then, kind of like, I don't know. I feel like let's find out where the Lakers are. Tonight we found out Jokic played, and he said, I'm the best player. I'm going to dominate Anthony Davis, and the Lakers are going to get blown out at home. Isn't that funny? Here's what we got here. Yes, and Beal. Slee, at least there won't be any traffic because literally there was a point there in the fourth quarter. I'm like, I was looking at fans. I'm like, why are you guys still here? Go beat traffic. Why the hell are you guys still here? One or two more comments, then we're out of here. You better practice tomorrow. Suns will beat them. Yeah. I think this is the theme of everybody right now. Good show, Slee. I appreciate that. But the theme is just annoyed by the team and AD today. I don't blame you guys. All right. I'm back on Monday morning at 8 a.m. So I have another day tomorrow. We're going to try to take a full day off tomorrow and kind of get recharged. And then we'll get back on Monday morning at 8 a.m. So kind of have a little weekend recap. By that point, we'll have the Rams have played Philly, USC, UCLA. I don't know if that game's still going on. Did that game finish or no? Somebody give me SC UCLA score. We'll spend a little bit of time on that as well. All right, I'll have you guys do that, and then I'll be back on Monday morning, and then of course, we'll have a lot of Laker conversation going there as well. I'm gonna find the score real quick. SC up 19-13. 2 minutes left to go. Looks like USC is about to close out that game. All right, we'll have a little bit of that here as well. UCLA ball. All right, 2 minutes left. All right, I'm going to turn this off and watch the rest of the game. My people, thank you very much for hanging out. I appreciate you guys being a part of the post-game show. I know I've been asking you guys to do me a big favor, and that's just been to subscribe to the channel. If you guys can do that, 100% now on YouTube. Loving what I'm doing. Got a lot of work to do. The goal and the vision is to grow this channel and do it right here on my own platform. So please subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. Thank you. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great Sunday. I will see you guys on Monday morning at 8 a.m. Have a great night.